Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Weekly recap time. Let's get with it. Everybody knows, and if you don't know, here's the rundown weekly recap. I'm leased to an 80-20 split carrier. I pull a reefer trailer. Most of my loads are going to be reefer. If they're not reefer, I'll let you know they're not reefer. What else we got going on? I don't talk about the carrier I'm leased onto. It's an 80-20 split. If you want to find yourself a good 80-20 split carrier, they are out there. Just look around, do your own research, because I wouldn't want to recommend you somewhere that you didn't like and then you'd hate me forever for it. So do your own research on that. What else? I don't talk about my fixed cost. I got a paid off truck. It's pretty fuel efficient. I do talk about the variable cost, and then I talk about the loads I do and why I did them and that type of stuff. So that is weekly recap. I try to do one of these every week. Sometimes I get behind. Like now, I'm about 3 weeks behind. I'm going to do probably 2 of them this week, so we get caught up a little bit, because I don't want to be too far behind. I want you to see the rates and where they're at and what's happening. So anyway, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the weekly recap that is right now. Let's talk about it. I did 2 loads on this week. This was a 6-day week. 6-day week. There are no 8-day weeks in my world. No 9, no 10s. Sometimes they're less because I go home when I get done. This one is actually a 6-day week because just the way the loads worked out. So I just started my next week after the last day of this load. So this was in 6 days I did this here. I guess technically, you counted a day off or whatever, work your day off, whatever. But anyway, sorry, I'm watching a couple guys go across the parking lot here. They look very cold. I wish I could flip this camera around. It's like 15 degrees here, and they got on their flip-flops. You wouldn't be so cold if you didn't have on your flip-flops, guys. You're in Pennsylvania in January. Maybe how about a winter coat and some socks? If you're going to wear flip-flops, at least put some socks on with your flops. Damn it, boys, out there shivering, looking all cold. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I did 2 loads this week. We started out in Minnesota. That's what I like to do. Minnesota, out back. Minnesota, out back. It's just the name of my game. It's how I like to run. I changed up a little bit when we was running a lot of exempt loads and stayed out more 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Made great money. Paid off a bunch of debt. Paid off this truck. And now we're kind of sitting where we don't have to work as much. But sometimes I still do, because I love money. I do dirty things for money. I was out there underneath the truck the other day replacing an exhaust clamp, and I was laying on a sheet of ice. Yeah, I was in Minnesota laying on a literal sheet of ice, and I was just thinking to myself, the things I will do for money. Yeah, don't put me on the internet, because you never know what I'll do for money. But anyway, let's get to the business part of it. That's why you guys tune in, I hope. Let's talk about it. Let's get down to it. 2 loads, Minnesota. Grabbed Minnesota down to Louisiana. That's one of my lanes. That's how I like to run. Been doing this for years. Figure out the lanes you like to run. Figure out where you like to run, and proceed to do it. So then we went from Minnesota down to Louisiana. 1 pick, 1 drop, 36,000 pounds, 33 degrees, $5,400 on that load. So that was a good rate to go to Louisiana, I thought. 73 empty miles on that, 1256 on the loaded. And then we did some deadheading, 74 miles after that, over to Addis, Louisiana. Dry load, 42,000 pounds dry load. And then that came back up to Eau Claire, Wisconsin for $3,000, 42,000 pound dry load that was. So, came up and, got back toward the house. That's what it's all about to me. That's what I like to do. So that's what I do. So we're talking $8,400 total for the week, $8,400 gross money. I'm on an 80-20 split. My 80% of that is going to be $6,020. And then let's go over the fixed cost and everything, and we'll talk more about that. Let's talk about the miles first and the rate per mile. 2606 total miles, 2,459 loaded miles for 147 on the deadhead this week. That is 6% deadhead. When the freight market's good, deadhead's kind of down typically, so we're in a good market and it's down. And this load was the coming up on the end of the year. I think this was the last week of 2021 that we're doing here. Nope, there's more freight being hauled after this. Sorry, there's a little short mid half week I did after this. Rate per mile, 322 all miles on this week. 258 is my 80% per mile, and 341 a loaded mile, just to let you know what the freight markets are doing. That is 341 loaded mile. And I only talk about the loaded mile to talk about what the freight market's doing. So let's go over variable cost we had in this week. 1303 on diesel. Diesel's creeping up there on us. I mean, the rates are still really good and they cover the diesel costs quite well, so I'm not going to complain too much. But yeah, seems like diesel costs, they go up a lot, and then they come down a little, and then they go back up a lot. So, you know, trending upwards, which is kind of a bummer because, you know, I'm starting to feel the effects of winter fuel right now. Got lower fuel economy. I had one day last week when it was both trips were into the wind. Going south was into the wind, coming back north was into the wind. Going south was into a 22-mile-an-hour wind, and I had double dosed the anti-gel. I was getting probably the worst fuel economy I've seen in a long time. Like 5 miles a gallon bad. Yeah, it was rough. And I had to idle at night because it was negative 15 degrees. So it was all bad. Yeah. So fuel's going up. You know, that's all we can say about that. $40 in reefer fuel, $45 in DEF. There's another expense that's going up. DEF. Holy moly, DEF fluids. I think it's close to $4 a mile at the major chains now. It's crazy. At what point is it going to be cheaper just to go in and buy it in the little 2.5 gallon jug, you know, right? $26 on scales. I scaled both of these loads. They were both heavy loads. The first load, 36,000 pounds. Yeah, I probably could have got away without scaling that. I don't know. I scale these loads because I figure $13 is cheap insurance. But I've got a scale on the truck, and I've got pretty good with it. I haven't had to move axles after a cat scale in a while, so, you know. Variable cost for the week, $1,414 variable cost for the week. Bring over my 80%, the $6,720. You subtract the $1,414 variable expenses, and that leaves me $5,306 to do what I have to do with. 5306. Beautiful week. Love weeks like that. Love stacking cash. You know, that's the name of the game to me. So yeah, not a crazy week. Just, you know, not the biggest numbers, but again, if I can hang out in that $8,000, it was $8,400 total gross. If I could do that every week and still be off a day, I'd be pretty damn happy. I'll be honest with you, I'd be pretty damn happy. Now, you know, when the money's there, I might run a little more, I might make a little more, but you know, for me, it's like I did so much extra work last year with the exemptions and running, you know, when nobody wanted to run during, you know, the bad times. And when I say the bad times, I mean like socially, not economically. As far as, you know, for the trucking industry, you know, we had some pretty good times there in 2021. Am I right? But, you know, I've kind of got myself in a position now where it's like I'll run if I want to, and I'll don't if I won't. I mean, the rates are still really good right now, so I'm going to keep running, but we'll see. I do appreciate everybody watching. Check out the description down below for the Mudflap app. If you buy your own fuel, check out Mudflap. If you want to buy some Cash is King merch, I got a merch tent, also known as a shirt store, whatever you want to call it. I call it the merch tent. Check out the merch tent. And what else is down there? I got a second channel, Trucking with Diabetes. Got that channel going down there. And if you want to watch more Cash is King, click on one of these other videos. Why not? Take care of each other out there, everybody. I appreciate everybody watching. Later.